Hey there, my name is Chris Acton with Acton Creative, and this is A Handwoven Experience, episode 34. In today's episode, we're going to talk all about heddles. Each loom has its own little army of heddles. So let's start at the top. What is a heddle? A heddle is a piece that hangs between these two rails in your shaft, and it has a little eye in the middle. And they come in a couple different formats. First of all, the heddles that I have here are considered inserted eye heddles. Let me show you. I've got a little batch of them here. I'm sure that at some point when they came to me, I had the little rails at the top and the bottom to keep them organized, but somewhere along the line, I've lost the bottom little rail, so they're a little unruly. But this will be able to show you, they typically come like this, and usually pack of 100 or 200, and they look like this. So you've got a slot at the top and the bottom so they can hang on the rails, and then you have an eye in the middle. And these inserted eyes have kind of a solid body with just a little space then in the middle for the yarn to go through, but you can get them as wire heddles is an option. You can also find them in something, a synthetic product. There's a company called TechSolve that makes heddles. They're polyester, very lightweight, very easy to use. The one thing to keep in mind with those is that in some cases with your loom you need a certain kind of weight balance. So not the end of the world, but if you're thinking of switching from a metal heddle or a wire heddle to a synthetic one, just do a little research and make sure that it is right for the loom that you have. So, like I mentioned, heddles are all these little guys that hang off. These are the rails here, top and bottom. And what their job is to hold each of the yarns. So each of the yarns here in my project go through one single heddle. So I have heddles on shaft number 4 and number 3 and number 2 and number 1. Each of them have their own set of heddles. So when I lift this shaft, which we're at the back of the loom here, when I lift this shaft, all the yarns that were threaded on heddles back here all lift up. So that's part of how you determine your pattern, is you decide on which shaft you want your yarn to live, and then it goes into an accompanying heddle. A couple things to watch out for. First of all, if you have a project that is really dense, like a lot of yarns, maybe it's a lot of fine yarns or everyone's really, really close together, it wouldn't hurt to go through and count your heddles ahead of time, because believe me, there's nothing more frustrating than putting the project into the loom and finding out that you don't have enough heddles on your shaft for your project. So it seems like kind of a pain in the beginning, but it's easier just to make sure you have enough heddles going into it. And I think that kind of gives you a nice overview for what the heddles are and what they do in a project. They're pretty darn important, I gotta say. So until next time, my friend, have a great week. Happy weaving.